Staxy, but I think we maybe hit a bottom.
Well,
I think it hit
we'll see
2.
how it goes. It's given off some interesting signs for sure. Now it could be because of the futures expiring and all that, and everybody has their own, idea why. Like some people showing how in the past 24 hours there's been like 90 million worth of liquidations and things like that. So people are still playing around, So it's good to see.
Yeah. BNB did better than Ethereum and Bitcoin actually in the drop. Ethereum went down about 8 or 9% more than BNB. So it was quite strong in that crash, but yeah.
They're all kind of tied into Bitcoin, and yeah, if Bitcoin has a rally, everybody kind of keeps up. Okay, welcome everybody. I just started the live stream as well on YouTube.
All right, cool. I posted in the YouTube channel actually to Atlantic. I was watching a video of a crypto radio live show on YouTube. I thought we could maybe do that in future. It looked quite good. He was very good for live as well. It was as if it was edited. It was that good, word perfect. He hasn't got many followers, but he was just sort of talking about Luna and crypto in general. 10-minute videos, and yeah, you could have like a podcast style with 2 or 3 of the team or something talking about crypto.
We got Derry Tadros. Is he part of the team? Let me unmute him. Hey Derry.
Sure,
how's it
going?
Or do we know who's coming from?
I'll go and check.
All right, yeah.
It's the Coin Meta winner as well. Oh, sorry, yeah, is it Obito? It is the guy we're looking out for.
Oh, Obito is coming. Obito, yeah. Obito is their main guy, so we're getting cool.
Owner of MuuInu.
Yeah, MuuInu has been pretty hype. We're still,
yeah, we've got 5,200 holders, doing well.
Oh yeah. They're doing some nice stuff over there. We still got 10 minutes till we start the AMA here, guys. Where we just open it a little early, so we give people a chance to trickle on in before we get started. Let's see, should we play some tunes, get everybody hyped up a little bit, or just keep on chatting? Want to tell us more about your investment strategies, Mr. Glenn? How are you hunting the next best thing?
I think Avalanche and Solana the best bet for the 4th biggest blockchain in the future.
I remember you were shilling, if I may.
Harmony,
Harmony,
I
and
lost my
before
shirt with
that
that one.
it was crypto.com with the crow, and
yeah, the crow did well.
Crow did
Yeah, and
well.
it has become bigger since I talked about it last year. Yeah, it has become quite popular. But Harmony, I don't know whether something's broke on the blockchain, and it went from 30 cents. I bought down to 18, 12. Well, if you keep doubling your bag, and then it goes back up. You sort of.
DCA.
But now it's down to about 4 cents. Yeah, 4 cents now or something. So I sold it all at 10 cents, I think, 12 cents, and bought lots of Avalanche.
Are you staking it, or are you just keeping it?
What did I bought $1,000. It went down to $500, and I'm staking that.
Okay. Well,
in that crash, and then because it's $25 the other day, I just bought a few thousand more dollars of it at that bargain price, and then I mean, I looked compared to Solana. I mean, it could hit 250 in a bull market. I think it's $25 now, so that's a 10x, isn't it? That's nice if it happens.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we go full on bull, full on crypto, friendly everywhere, it could. A lot of things could do very well. So I'm excited. Let's see.
It was when BNB was about 650, Solana was 250 at the top, November last year. So, and they've got more tokens than Avalanche, so technically that's a sort of $250 to $300 mark that Avalanche could hit in a nice bull market.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of promising ones, I mean, if you go for the top 50, top 100, go through them and, find something you like, find something you're bullish on. And in this type of market where it's kind of, a little bearish, I'd say, we're moving sideways and all that, that's the best time to start DCAing, building up a nice little portfolio and going from there, yeah.
It's knowing when to sell, in a bull market, I think, as well. And then wait for the next crash and just rebuy back in, technically. But
I know, like, it's hard to catch.
Sometimes you get
Like all the
12-month
tops.
bull runs.
Yeah.
That's how they're doing it. They pump it up to 650 BNB Bitcoin, 60 odd thousand, then they sell it all, bit by bit or whatever as it's on the way up, and then when it crashes, they buy it all back. They put in bids really low, ready for the next crash. So it's never going to go to 100,000 for a long time. I think we've got a lot of stock market people involved now that just pump it, dump it, buy it back at the bottom, and just keep making doubling, trebling the bag over and over that way. It's very sort of manipulated now.
Well, what can you do? What can you do?
Bitcoin's holding above 30,000. That's good.
It had a little bit of a bump, yeah. Looking nice. People are excited. Always good to see. Even small bumps in a positive direction, gets people excited about everything again. It's like they remember that crypto's nice and there are gains to be made and all this. So they come back. Maybe the past couple of weeks, people have been taking a break, taking it easy. Some slowing it down, and as it picks back up, well, everybody will be spamming LFGs in chats, right? Everybody will be back at it.
It's repeating last year. I think it was pretty bad in May and June, and then it started pumping July up to November. Then obviously the whales thought, well, everyone's going to think it will pump up to Christmas, so we'll get out in November. So that was the sort of top. And then, bumpy way down in May. Apocalypse. Everyone running for the exits. Fire. The world is falling.
It's not all bad. There's still opportunities everywhere. People still building cool stuff. There's a lot still going on. And in these kind of conditions, this is when it's important to keep your eyes open too, because now these are the best times to find people that are really enthusiastic about the space, about creating, nice DeFi products for everybody and building new things. And if they're building it during a market that's not, full on bullish, then they plan to be around and have a solid plan or a solid roadmap, or it's
a way of
spot.
bringing new people in. If the market drops 30-40%, then the investors go, oh well, it was that much, so I can invest here and enjoy the ride up. But when it maybe gets to 65,000 Bitcoin, people are reluctant to buy in, and it sort of the volume dries up a bit. And, yeah.
All right, let's see. I don't see any hands up. Do we have the team from MuuInu? No, I don't think they're in yet. Well, we still got 3 or 4 minutes to go. We're just waiting here, guys. Waiting for the team to come on, and we'll have a nice chat. And as always, there's gonna be opportunities in the second half of DMA to ask questions. If you want to talk to Obito from MuuInu, or if you have questions for them, just raise your hands, and we always take questions from people listening in. So bear with us. The usual format is always sort of the same. We got our main man Glenn here is gonna do a nice little overview, with the team, and then yeah, if any of you want to go a little bit more in depth or have something more specific to ask, anything like that, just raise your hands and we'll take questions from the community as well. Oh, I think we got Obito in here. Obito, there we go. I have unmuted him. And Loki as well. Is Loki also part of the team? Let me unmute Loki.
Oh, with the cow in the picture. Crypto
Yeah.
boy is maybe an investor, I don't know.
A lot of people.
Hi, Obito and Loki.
Hi, can you hear me clearly? Any issues with the mic?
Yeah, doing well. Yeah, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right, mate. Yeah, just
Awesome.
Good day for me. Good week as well for what's coming.
Yeah, you're building a big community there. You've got over 5,200 holders. Looking great for MuuInu.
Yeah, man, and it's just the beginning. Like we're about a month old now, 4 weeks old marks from today. So there's a lot of room to grow. A lot of new things coming out as well, as you can see. With some announcements that I'll make as well in the VC.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be
You
great.
know,
So,
in
we
the
waiting for anyone?
UK as well.
What'd you say?
Yeah, we'll just give it a couple of minutes to get everyone in the VC, and then I'll start the record and introduce you.
Okay, all
Are
good.
you in the UK? I was saying, Obito.
Yeah.
All right,
London,
cool.
London, usually.
All right. I've lived in Bristol, but yeah, visited London. But quite a cool place, Bristol.
Sorry to butt in here, Glenn. Do we need to unmute anybody else from the team? I've unmuted Loki. I don't know if he's part of the team, and I have Menti here also with his hand up.
At the moment, I'll be the speaker. So at the moment, it's all right. I'll be
Okay.
the one speaking. So
yeah, if anybody needs unmuting, you can just mention it to Glenn, and he'll take care of
I'll
it.
just let you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll start it. I'll give it another minute. Get everyone into the VC, and I'll start that. Start recording and introduce you. We can go into MuuInu. We're recording it over on YouTube Live as well, so a copy of that will come in for you to share with your
the stream is up
community.
there. We've been getting some better engagement on live streaming it on YouTube rather than Twitch. We've only started doing that for the past week, maybe. I don't know if it's even a week old, but it's looking better than the Twitch streams. So yeah.
Asking what the AMA format is. It's just basically a interview style podcast, back and forth. The host has done the research and the last questions about the utility and the community and all sorts of things. So yeah, that's how we do it. Then we take questions near the end. If investors have got their hands up, and the team might have a question or two as well. So
sounds good. Sounds great.
Yeah, we keep it pretty high level, trying to keep it educational and easy to understand for everybody. But if people in the audience, if you have questions or if you want to go a little bit more in depth, don't be shy. Just raise your hand and we'll take questions from the community for sure.
Yeah, right. If you're ready, Obito, I'll start the record and introduce you, and we can go into MuuInu.
All good. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, good afternoon to the Whalecoin Talk community. Today we have an AMA with MuuInu. Here to speak about the project is Obito, who's the CEO and owner, and Krator is the dev. I was researching, there's 5,200 holders. They've got building a strong community at MuuInu, 1.6 mil market cap. It launched on the 2nd of May, so we're quite a few weeks in now. They've got planned cross-chain for Ethereum chain, P2E game in the future, and staking and NFTs we can go into shortly. But yeah, if we could just start with the core team's background and experience in crypto, Obito, that'd be great.
Okay, so first thing, I'm Obito, I'm the dev owner, and we have Creator, the website dev. We have a lot of external and internal team. We have the core team members, we have the mods, we have the admins, and yeah. So essentially, I'm Morito. I'm the dev, the owner, and I reside in London. I started crypto maybe about a year ago. I really got into launching about, I say, September, where I sort of started to launch with teams. You know, when you start to launch with teams and you're in a marketing aspect, you're dealing with the marketing. You know, you obviously start to build connections, because that's what crypto is really. It's sort of one big community, one big sort of connection. Connections are essential in sort of this space we're in. And yeah, so I decided to launch my own individual project that started maybe early January, and it was a really good success, going from about 1K to 850K. And then I realized, obviously, with trial and error, I realized the good things I did, and also realized what I could do better. And so, with this recent hype, and I talk freely about other tokens and things, such as other tokens sort of inspire people to launch, as we know from all these sort of Shiba and Doge things you see nowadays. And yeah, so I sort of saw some tokens recently on BSC, which sort of started trends of new animals, sort of branching outside of the initial dog type style coins that you tend to see who just plays on them. And so I thought, let's go sort of a farmyard animal, you know, sort of one of the big faces when you see a farm. And we
It's out there. So
it's all good, yeah. So I thought to myself when I saw cows is that what's a bit retarded, but still makes sense. And I thought MUU, so they have moo, the initial cow sound. MU still sounds makes the same one, and people understand what I'm on about. So sort of obviously having sort of a serious meme coin, but something that sounds a bit retarded at the same time, because that's essentially what a meme is, you know, and that's essentially what attracts a lot of people. And we went with it, and the sort of this sort of thing we're aiming for is to start a trend on BSC of cows, and we really have started to do that. We see a lot of people sort of be inspired by us to launch, and yeah, we're only growing, and our community is really strong with all the things we've been performing. Sort of we started off maybe around on day one, you know, the initial meme coin hype. Eventually, it does tend to vary over the next few days of holders getting shaken out, and yeah. So how it started was we went to about 270K on day one. The next day, I got everything sorted. The idea from the beginning was always sort of a long term project. It was never sort of a short term. So what we did is we got CEX done in the first 24 hours of launch. We got an audit done, a white paper done, and we were getting ready to apply for CMC organically. And yeah, after perseverance, of course, as you've seen, the market was very shaky around this time. A lot of launches did not make it through. A lot of launches did not prevail. And yeah, we never gave up. It was really, really good. And yeah, I still continued at maybe around 18 KMC. We were still getting our CXs done. We were having staking up, which we were getting set up for our swap. So we had the swap up at that time. We had CXs, and people started to notice that we were still going on pushing hard despite the MC. Because, of course, when people do see a dedicated dev, a dedicated community, this gives them all the reason to buy up. And then, yeah, then we sort of went with it. And essentially, I really like to use sort of, I don't really see deving as a I don't know how to explain it, but sort of as a job, as something you have to do for the community. I see it's sort of a passion. So essentially, yeah, I was really happy, and obviously, was I didn't have an issue using my own money. So we essentially started to get things paid for, you know, branching out, and yeah, we started to pick ourselves up, and then CMC CG dropped, and I only did more with using more of my own funds to get sort of exchange listings, which we had L Bank recently around 400K, and that's where we are today. We were sitting about 1.7 mil, and we currently have just had an announcement today about our Bitmart exchange listing at what we're seeing about 1.8 mil now, which is really, really good. And yeah, their marketing actually starts tomorrow for that. So I might bring it up now, which is sort of their Twitter post, their announcement, their Telegram, and sort of that's how they're branching out with that. And sort of yeah, we also have a lot of partnerships with our coin as well, and a lot of people backing it. So with community with that, and with our one key thing we do, which is intense raids, we have a lot of people following us, a lot of people finding out about us every day. And yeah, just being 4 weeks old, we're going to keep growing. And the sky's the limit, we say, with the key utilities. I'll mention now, which is so at the moment we have a swap out. We're sort of trying to build an ecosystem on that swap. So we do. So I've sort of been looking out for sort of other good devs, other good teams, hard workers that don't give up, but their coin sort of supports Moo. So we've listed one on the ecosystem so far, which is Baby MuuInu, sort of a branch out, sort of hard workers. I've seen them for a while, and yeah, that's just the start of the ecosystem we're building. But the whole idea is now we also have a whole blockchain coming. We thought, let's do something completely different, something a meme coin hasn't done before, and we're actually the first meme coin to have our own chain. So if you see these coins that sort of drop, the whole idea, the whole utility from the beginning is to do sort of something like that. So how this blockchain will work is it's actually called MuuChain, and the scan and the chain should be out in about 3 days, and there'll be sort of part of the ecosystem. There'll be a sort of inferior token linked to it, and this inferior token's whole purpose is purely just to add LP and to trade on the Moo chain. Of course, you can't use MuuInu because that's BSC, and BSC is just the sort of the home for meme coins and trading. So yeah, so when everyone wants to use that, a few days later after this changes drop, so maybe about 3 days, you'll actually be able to use a bridge a few days after that, and then after the bridge is made, where you'll be able to sort of collect Moo chain with BNB. They'll then obviously how PancakeSwap was not built by BSC, and MN Finance wasn't built by Kronos. There'll be a third party, and we know the third party, the actual blockchain developers who are making it with me. They'll be making their own swap, sort of with their own maybe individual token on the chain with that, but sort of the swap functions as a place to buy and sort of trade token on the Moo chain and sort of add liquidity in them. But yeah, so as for utility, it's sort of the whole blockchain coming out with NFTs, coming out with staking. Sort of these NFTs and staking pools won't be the random ones you see on the website. They'll sort of be like linked to PancakeSwap. So sort of when people go into PancakeSwap, they tend to see a little section which says staking, or a section which says NFTs. So we'll have that on our own private swap to sort of security for the new investors, and a nice look for if they do like something like that.
Great. So is this a partnership you've got with the blockchain, and are they going to make their own token, or will that be sort of an ecosystem with a new token as well?
Okay, so sort of is the blockchain's owned by MuuInu. The blockchain is the Moo chain. It's owned by us. Essentially, what I say by sort of building the ecosystem is there'll have to be, so the center hold, when everyone sees anything Moo related, they see MuuInu you want to have. Sort of the center hold Moo chain is just sort of the currency you trade on the Moo chain network. Of course, it's an inferior token to MuuInu. By inferior, I mean obviously it only has two purposes: to add LP and to trade on that chain. Of course, it's useless on BSC. That's why obviously MuuInu is the dominant token, because you can't really do much on the Moo chain apart from, well, you can do a lot on there, but you can't do much. I guess you'd say, apart from trading and buying. And yeah, that's basically the token's sole purpose. And what I meant by partnerships is sort of like I said, as you know, PancakeSwap isn't made by BSC. PancakeSwap is made by a third party that's now trusted by obviously the BSC network. Trusted enough that obviously everyone trades there. You probably like every day would just casually go on there, trade, and not have to worry about its security. Same as MN Finance. So it's basically just like that, to be honest. So yeah, so sort of we have some trusted, and they'll obviously be making a sort of a third party but trusted swap which you use on the chain, just like how MN Finance and just like how PancakeSwap are to BSC and Kronos. So there'll be that swap, and that'll be used on the chain, which will drop a few days after the chain's released. But yeah, so there's a lot of growth with that. But the chain is fully owned by MuuInu, and sort of the Moo chain token itself is sort of an inferior token to MuuInu, just used on the chain as sort of the native currency.
Yeah, and on the website you can buy with a credit, debit, Apple Pay or Google Pay as well. The MuuInu.
Yeah. So essentially, we had this out last week. So I was talking to someone in VC, and sort of it's hard to explain, but in the UK, you probably know as well as me, is that some of these places, such as Barclays, So banks, they really don't like you buying crypto for some reason. They sort of blocked it from Binance and things like that. So these people do have a hard time sort of buying crypto. Oh, I can't do it, it's blocked. So essentially, if you, there's a little bot that says buy crypto on the site. Essentially, it's sort of a swap just made to buy it with obviously an Apple Pay credit card. And essentially, how you do this is it's made exclusively to us. So that's why it shows MuuInu automatically. It's not made for anyone else. You have to pay for a package. And when you go on it, you just at the bottom it says buy crypto. You just enter BNB and you can pay your credit card right there. And then it just says swap to, and you connect your wallet and obviously, and it'll just say swap straight to MuuInu. So essentially, you can have the BNB and MuuInu loaded up in about just basically the click of your finger with Apple Pay. So it's really
awesome. And then you're planning a cross chain as well. I think you're going to go to the Ethereum chain, are you? That's where a lot of meme whales are. So that will be great for the volume for MuuInu in the future.
Yeah. So there's a whole thing of that. So we're going to get that sorted as well. And also, I don't know if you've so this is sort of extra that you've actually added on, but we're getting a multi-chain swap built by XY Finance. So I'll reference some other coins, so such as I did see this from a coin like Krog, where they sort of had the option where you weren't limited to buy with just Kronos. You were limited. You could buy with Avax, Phantom, Ethereum, countless number, Kronos, even sort of on a BSC chain. Essentially, you could use basically any crypto token from different chains just straight to swap to this token. It was really good. It's like, oh, that's amazing, because so many people don't want to. Sort of when I first saw the whole bridging thing, I thought it's such a long process. I can't be honest. So a lot of people probably think the same. Sort of having this swap to sort of, I can just swap straight from my BNB to Grog, or straight from my BNB to MuuInu, or straight from my Ethereum to MuuInu, fee free. Just like any other, just like buying on Pancake swap. That's really beneficial for all the investors, because obviously, as you know, even people on Telegram probably in this VC right now, some people don't even hold sort of things like anything on a BSC chain. A lot of people might be holding things on the Ethereum chain. A lot of things might just want to listen in to hear if they ever need sort of bridge their sort of cryptocurrency, their native one over that they're prone to. But essentially, they don't need to do that. And soon we'll be able to have obviously a multi-chain swap up where they can easily just swap from that to here. And that's what I'm really excited about.
And then you can have staking as well. How's that going to work for investors? Will it be locked? So you'll you have a lot of the supply locked up, and you'll get nice APY on the MuuInu.
Yeah, so I can't reveal too much on that. As in, sort of a little surprise on some of the stuff, but essentially, first thing first, staking is going to be sort of it's not going to be the essential website where you go to it and just drop your money in. It will be sort of on the swap, just like how Pancakes will work. It'd be on MuuSwap, sort of I'll swap this out. You just click the staking side, the sidebar, just like on thing, and then you just put your tokens in, and you can check that every day. Is obviously security that it's on a proper swap rather than a random website. And how that will work is, so the tokens are obviously locked for a certain amount of time for a certain amount of rewards, varying on the amount of tokens you hold, and then we're thinking sort of as usual, like with a normal, there'll be sort of a penalty if you unstake before the chosen time. But there would be sort of a window for that. So let's say if it was you stake for 30 days to earn this much. After 14 days, you can unstake freely if you choose to. But before then, if you unstake, obviously, you would be charged a penalty, which is obviously how happens with normal staking. So that's something we're focusing on. But yeah, it's sort of, with the staking pool, we really like the idea that we're putting on the swap, just like the sort of NFTs that are to come soon, because it's just sort of security and our presentation, as you probably know, is a key thing. Crypto can do a lot on crypto, and yeah, so when people do see that, there'll be a lot more people prone to be interested.
Great, and then you're going to do an NFT series on the MuuInu. Will it be that'll be the theme? How many are you looking to mint? What will be the cost for investors?
So when sort of the cost and everything, we're still deciding that, but what we can say is sort of it won't be like those are expensive it'll be the same price for a certain amount of time. We're thinking maybe pay in Moo, sort of the maybe 0.1 BNB equivalent to Moo is sort of 0.2 if need be. It depends on the type. You make around 1,000 or so, and sort of as it so say the last final 100. sort of the price increases as more gets sold out, which is, I guess, how most normally work. So sort of when it gets near to sort of the end of the funds are getting minted, maybe there's the final 100 left. We might double the price or other price, be it one being both for MuuInu. But we think doing it in MuuInu is a really smart idea because essentially like tokens. Sort of people buy up the MuuInu and then they just using that to buy rather than just using their BNB. So there's all these tokens just going into sort of I say dead wallet. But yeah, so that idea obviously we haven't fully decided, but it's sort of along the lines of that. But regardless, anyways, it would be fairly cheap for NFTs, and it would sort of be maybe the price increases or doubles depending on the demand and how many is left, the supply.
I see, yeah. And like, what will the profits go to from the NFTs? You're looking to do buyback and burns, marketing, or liquidity, add into the liquidity?
Okay, so three things. So essentially, at the moment, one key thing would be LP. One key thing would be marketing. Sort of at the moment as well, how I market. Since it's sort of a passion, a lot of people, and you probably say the same sort of, when you start to develop a project and you enjoy what you're doing, it's sort of a passion. So I sort of use my own funds if need be to pay for some of the things we're getting done. So say adding some sort of extra funds would be really nice. So NFTs coming in as an extra source of income for sort of paying for marketing. But yeah, and LP marketing LP and sort of maybe even some giveaways, some hosts, some things you can use to keep the community active. At the moment, we're doing a lot of sort of we target some individual posts. We have them up. I do many sort of on my channel, which I then sort of forward to the MuuInu group, sort of bring them all together, sort of using that as an announcement channel. So my own personal one. So yeah, so sort of bridging those together, and so so a lot of giveaways are being done. So sort of using the NFTs to fund those would be really good. So sort of NFTs would be used to fund marketing, LP, and sort of giveaways to keep the community active.
And then you're planning a P2E game as well. Have you decided on a theme and how it's going to work?
Okay, so we've actually been planning it for a while, but since the chain's coming out, we want to push that back a little bit. When I say push that back, I just mean just don't release it like a few days or a week after the whole chains come out. But essentially, yeah. So it's going to be a bit like, so we see some of these high quality games, on the BSC. I can name drop some, but there's probably no point. But essentially, yeah, sort of you see high quality games, these games that people they spend time on. We're sort of replicating that, as best we can put it, and we're making it farm based. Sort of it's a cow thing. Sort of a farm based game is really good, and yeah, so that's something we strive to do. So that'll be up, and that'll be working really nice.
Awesome. So did you have a smart contract before or after the launch? Did you have an audit on the smart contract? Yeah.
Yes, first of all, we launched an audit from Fragrance.io. They're full trusted, vetted, and they're KYC'd. And if you were to go to their website, so that's just freshcoinsaltogether.io for anyone that's in VC, they sort of have a sort of a coin market cap sort of working thing, sort of mixing coin market cap, coin sniper, where you can sort of check the coins on there basically that are doing well. They have a top gainers, they have a little chart at the bottom, you can see everything. And because we're obviously audited with them, if you search up MuuInu and you click on it, it'd also have a little thing at the top saying audit score, and the audit score is pretty decent, which is actually 97 out of 100, which we're pretty happy about.
How does the buy and sell tax work? I think it's only 4%, so it's a low tax, and that maybe help you get onto L Bank quicker. It's not too complex with huge sort of taxes, yeah.
Yeah, we think low tax is really really good. Of course, obviously, there are the sort of downsides. So of course, it attracts more buyers. It also attracts more sellers. So in general, it attracts more volume. It brings more volume. But the downside is obviously, we have to save up longer to get some of these things. LP can't be built as strong as quickly. So those are obviously some of the challenges you'd face. But then again, for people with higher tax, they also face similar challenges, just opposite way around. Sort of, you could build LP a bit quicker. You could have marketing fill up quicker, but sort of attracting these buyers would be a bit harder. I know it'd be slightly less volume because of maybe the higher tax they might hold. But yeah, so those key points, sort of increase volume. But yeah, it obviously, you know, does have its benefits and its sort of downsides.
Okay, and what's the marketing plans going forward for MuuInu, apart from the MuuInu army you're building, which is great for, do you send them over to Twitter and things? They go out and promote the MuuInu?
Yeah, so the army is amazing, but essentially what our marketing plan is, so the moment we basically from the beginning, we wanted to establish many partnerships, we wanted to get our name known. So the first like sort of call was getting a lot of callers to change our profile pictures, sort of bringing out the brand, sort of everyone BSC, all different types of investors are seeing us. But that's sort of one stage. So we've had a lot of partnerships, a lot of Twitter deals, a lot of Twitter partnerships, Telegram. It varies, but essentially we also have real world marketing, and the next marketing moves are going to be ads. We want to get ads, sort of PooCoin ads, Dex tools ads. We want to get a lot of those done. So we want to get more real world marketing done. So I'm actually trying, as you probably know, in London, how it is in New York, we have billboards running currently in Times Square. If you check London, London is quiet. Sort of the central place to sort of have billboards or advertisements is train stations. Train stations are essential for that, because train stations are where a lot of these bigger investors, businessmen tend to be. They're also packed almost all the time. I don't think there's a time when they're not packed, because everyone's always traveling in London. So yeah, so we're sort of trying to get billboards here in sort of stations like King's Cross, and then we're sort of trying to get things in Dubai, sort of Dubai airports having billboards up. And yeah, as we get those, we're really looking forward to growing with that sort of internationally, and sort of marketing online as well, more Twitter, more Telegram, just growing the group, growing the community, and yeah, sort of branching off to sort of Instagram, Reddit, and like I said, ads. Ads are essential, even marketing, sort of like PooCoin, Dex tools, and things even like freshcoins.io, Coin Sniper. But yeah, just getting the word out through ads and through word of mouth and things like that as well.
Really cool. I've not heard anyone thinking of the train stations in the big cities and airports. You're thinking outside the box there with marketing crypto. I don't think I've had an AMA where someone's come up with that idea before. It sounds really, really good idea.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Right, let's open it up to the rest of the team if anyone's got a question. So go ahead.
Yeah, hey Glenn, before you move on to investor questions, I just wanted to appreciate Obito, and it shows. I like the transparency, and you know you're open about talking your past experience and all that, and it's always great to see people that kind of want to prosper in the space. You know, it's great to find people that are hardworking and are trying to build some cool DeFi products for us. And I like the fact that you didn't go for a dog meme. You know, you tried to build your own thing, and then there's a lot of smaller things that people might not catch on to. Like you mentioned that for the NFTs, you plan on having them, you know, bought in your own token, which can be super beneficial to the ecosystem. You know, you've mentioned a few things here that none of the other guys are. I mean, some of the other guys are taking lightly, but it's super important. It's a lot of small things that kind of add up. And just going to your experience, and you've mentioned you've took some lessons from the past. You know, you've applied it to this. What would you say was like the main one that kind of gave MuuInu that extra edge to push it forward and keep it going? Was it related to the community? Was it some, I don't know, gimmicky marketing? What was kind of like the number one or two things that led to the success so far?
Okay, so sort of the success is basically just, I think, the marketing, the dedication, the transparency. Sort of, I had content updates every day. I was holding an AMA. I still am now. Every day I'm holding new things, constantly telling people what's coming. And yeah, so every day is always jam packed. So sort of keeping investors happy, to sort of transparency, prove, obviously showing them what I'm saying I'm actually doing, which is proves more loyalty, which makes people hold stronger and believe in a project more, makes community stronger. So I say community, you know, my marketing on my end, transparency, and loyalty. I guess it's just the community and the dev and marketing and raiding and billing and everything like that. All those together just build the perfect community, I guess.
Yeah, so it sounds good, and yeah, I think a lot of people are familiar with MuuInu or have seen some of your raids and engagements that you do with the community, and it's great to see around. It really feels like a community building. I know a lot of people say, yeah, we're building a community and this and that, but for you guys, it shows. You know, you got I don't know if you still get the Diamond Hand LARPers and all that, and Moon Boys and everything. They're bound to be there as well, but at the same time, if they're engaged and they're helping you grow, it's more power to you. So yeah, it's looking great.
Yeah, man, thanks. We're striving and we're growing every day. It's really, really good.
Let's open it up to investor questions. Let's see. Syed, you had a question for Obito here at MuuInu. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. So I've read on your white paper that you have tested contract developments and ran several trade simulations to get a perfect project like MuuInu. So can you briefly explain about these simulations? And have been doing relatively well as compared to other tokens. So how did these simulations helped you? And did you also run the simulation in this kind of a market we are going through? It's like bleeding market.
So I didn't exactly get what you said, but I'll go on with what I think, and then you can ask me at the end or ask me after I'm finished. So first thing first, I'll go on about sort of how we strive. I think if you're on about how we're striving, we plan to strive sort of as we go forward. If we keep up the sort of the constant, I don't would say constant, but if we keep up the sort of loyalty with people, obviously, what we keep delivering, what we're saying we're delivering. We sort of keep the raids up, sort of keep the marketing up on our side, sort of the shilling, the new things coming. That really creates more FOMO. It really creates more word of mouth. It really creates new investors, who are interested. Oh, well, this project's constantly performing, constantly delivering all these new things. Let me check it out. And yeah, if we have that, there's nothing stopping us from really becoming different, really showing everyone what we are as a community. And yeah, obviously with a community that's strong, really strong, there's nothing that can stop us, really. And yeah, like I say, I mentioned community a lot, but also our self marketing and things like that. All those combined, it's perfect for us.
Yeah, got it. But I was talking about the trade simulations you have been doing before launching this project. I wanted you to explain about those simulations.
Simulations. I'm not
Yes.
too sure how to explain that, but what do you mean? Maybe preparing, sort of how we prepared.
It's mentioned on your white paper that you have tested contract deployments and ran several trade
Oh,
simulations to get a perfect project. I'm talking about that.
oh yeah. So before we test out launch on it. Obviously, we picked up some buys and things on that, see how it'd work. So sort of that was to prevent bots. That was to prevent a lot of bots. So if you look at the beginning of the sort of launch, we didn't have many big sales. We didn't have many people selling in general. We didn't have many. It was more. It was quite a smooth launch, I guess you say. So the main thing I say from that is sort of we did test out the project, we did test it out, and that's why our audit score is pretty nice as well. There was no issues with the contract, and that's purely because, like you said, we tested out the project, we tested out obviously buying on a contract and everything, and we changed some things in there that we didn't like, and yeah, that's one of the key reasons we have it as we do. Um, Basically, just preventing as many bots as possible from the beginning. So that was sort of the perfect launch, a perfect startup because there was minimal bots in. So the chart was quite healthy, which attracted more people, which sort of brought more FOMO and more diamond hands.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for clearing that up. I thought that maybe you have run the simulation for the long term to check the project and how it will do in the future. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that. Over to you,
Okay.
Glenn.
Let's move on to Aisha. You had a question for Obito at MuuInu. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Okay, and your long-term goal is to develop your own blockchain. I want to know that what solutions will you be bringing with your new blockchain, and what will be the outstanding features of your blockchain?
So sort of the blockchain is going to be like how do I explain this? Sort of the thing that makes us stand out from other tokens is the fact that our blockchain is we're the first meme coin to have our own blockchain. It's quite unheard of. You don't see most meme coins, or you don't see. I don't think you see any meme coins have their own blockchain. Just sort of tokens that are prepared for their sole purpose is built around that blockchain. So that's one thing. Essentially, how blockchain can be different. So just like any other blockchain, um, it's free, sort of free will how you use it. You can buy, you can thing like the sad truth is on BSC. Sort of people launch rugs some days, people launch coins they don't push. Undevoted people. Sort of sometimes it could be a mess, but then you also have the good projects and stuff like that. So essentially, altogether, it will sort of be freedom of will, freedom using the blockchain. You can use it however you like. There'll be no like restraints. Um, because that's what a blockchain is. A blockchain is it's sort of meant to be free, where anyone could really do anything with crypto. But how we'll space out from other things is obviously as we sort of develop things like, for example, the third party swap, sort of how PancakeSwap is third party to BSC itself. We'll sort of have like KYC and things on there, and sort of develop and support some of the bigger coins we start to see on our chain. It's a key thing to support some of these coins. So for example, coin that does fairly successful on our chain. They have a dedicated team, dedicated people, sort of helping out. You see things like BSC. You see these coins that are doing amazing. Hardworking devs, crazy hardworking devs. That's sort of why I started building an ecosystem, Baby Moo, because you sort of see these hardworking devs that they're trying their hardest. Sort of how we were at 18 KMC, and it's hard for us to get recognized by people like CZ because they're sort of so busy, or they sort of don't check projects like this. So that's what's different to us. So if we want to watch and we want to help the communities that build strong projects in our group, we want to sort of help them. So when people see our chain, they don't see our chain as a chain to just launch on and make money, and then a project ends or it keeps going. I want them to see our chain as a community, sort of an incentive for doing well. Sort of doing well on our chain, we'll support you and we'll keep helping you because we see that you're hardworking. We see that what you're doing is good. And people really like that sort of one big, like just like how BSC is. It's just one big community, sort of on Telegram and on maybe spaced over Reddit and Discord, but essentially it's one big community, and that's sort of what we want our chain to be as well.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you for answering.
All good.
Let's see, Western Beast. Western Beast, you had a question for MuuInu. Tim, go ahead.
Hi guys. Hey Obito.
Hi.
Cut out there again. Western Beast.
The first question I have is concerning your punishment system. So you made mention of the 14-day grace period. Okay, so now I'm asking, after this 14-day grace period, what of those that choose to take out their tokens before this 14-day grace period? Would it even be possible?
Oh, sort of for staking. Okay, so what I said so sort of you drop your tokens in our Moo swap. Sort of maybe let's say the pool is for about 30 days, which we're looking at. Then essentially we would think, oh, obviously it's kind of, you never know. So it's kind of we don't think it's fair to have people have it locked for 30 days and if they need to take it out maybe on the 20th day or something, they have to pay. No, so it's sort of, you can take out your tokens anytime. There's no hold. However, if you take the tokens out, so for example, if it's staking for 30 days, if you take the tokens out before 14 days, you'll be charged a penalty fee. And if you take your tokens out after the 14 days, you will still receive some rewards. You just obviously will stop, and then holding for the full 30 days obviously gives you the full amount of rewards that you would earn for sort of staking for that long.
All right, so I wanted asking, I was curious about the overall utility or the base what the project was based on. So just like the entire project, so what will you be basing your NFTs on? Will you be basing it on something similar to dairy or dairy products or the cows themselves?
Cows. That's the quickest answer I can give. Where the NFTs will be based off cows. There will be cow NFTs, different designs, obviously, different looks, but there will be cow NFTs. And yeah, we really like that. Thinking about like cow heads, there's so much you can do, but it will be cow NFTs.
Okay. Have you thought about opening any charity foundations or supporting any, will I say, anti-animal cruelty foundations? I don't know if you are aware of the concept of these cows being treated very badly at some places where they are actually being milked for dairy products. So, are there any campaigns in the near future, in the far future, where you'll be hosting any campaigns against such acts? Will we be supporting any of such campaigns?
So the campaign we'll be supporting is similar to what you said. So what we're going to do is there's donations. We're donating to sort of farm charities. So what this is a lot of people might know, sort of with inflation and everything like that as well. Charities, sort of farms, they're severely underpaid for what they do. Sort of farmers are severely underpaid. You know, how much their supermarket sells their items for, the native one you might find, compared to how much they actually manage to collect the items off these farmers. If you look at the hard work, and then you guys have seen like sort of the jobs that farmers go through every day, like I said before, they're obviously severely underpaid, which isn't fair. Sort of we're trying to support a lot of these farmers, because sort of with equipment they might need, like I said, it's only getting worse for them with inflation and everything. So yeah, we're going to help that out. So we do have donations. It'll be donations to sort of farms, sort of helping them with equipment they need, with food, with sort of products that they need, for their farm. And yeah, so sort of we do have a goal of that. So sort of what that will support everything. So sort of the animals that do need things, it'll be all part of that. So that's something really good to look forward to. So we'll be doing donations, yeah, as we go.
All right, I really appreciate that. The fact that you'll be paying attention to underpaid farmers. Okay, that's greatly appreciated. Here on a lighter note, I kind of like your picture on the website. I can see the token of Obito Uchiha. It's actually kind of a great concept. So, would you be doing anything related to animes also in the future?
Mate, so like as you probably know, I'm a fan of anime. Yeah, so sort of we want to link it in a bit. Sort of the community makes some crazy memes based off it, and as you probably know, a lot of these bigger people, sort of even Elon Musk, sort of anime is essential for them. They like to reply to a lot of anime stuff. Elon Musk posts anime stuff a lot of the time. I tend to see it on his page. So yeah, so we will be making sort of, I say implement. It's a bit hard because sort of the communities around there aren't really crypto related, sort of based with crypto, but we do want to. It's sort of we're bringing it in with memes, sort of memes combining that together. And we sort of do have some memes out in the chat of MuuInu, and people make them all the time. So yeah, there's sort of combinations through that, and sort of using those on Twitter that just attracts new audiences that sort of like things like that as well.
Trust me, you will definitely get my attention because I'm also of the Uchiha clan. I don't know about you, but if you integrate it into your NFTs, I'll definitely be interested. I really appreciate
Yes,
your honesty, Mr. Vito. Thank you very much.
all good, man. Thanks. Yeah. So if uh, if I'll actually drop you a DM, we actually do have some similar thing to that, which I think you might be interested in. So yeah, thanks for your answer, and I'll drop you a nice photo now, sort of us linking those two together in sort of one logo, which I hope you do enjoy. So I've just dropped you that message now, and that's sort of how we'll sort of with these type of memes, we're sort of branching those communities together. But yeah, so I've just sent you that photo. But yeah.
Okay, it's really cool. It's really cool. So I'll pin you. If I have any other questions, I'll be dropping it in your Telegram group, or I'll just message you directly. Based on time, I would like to drop it back. Over to you, Glenn. Thank you very much, Mr. Vito.
All good, man. Thanks for Yeah, thanks for
Thank you
sharing.
very much for the questions today. We unfortunately run out of time. It's been great speaking to Obito, the owner and CEO at the MuuInu. He's building up a big, strong community there. There's 5,200 holders. That's great. It's been going for a month, and there's a lot of utility planned in the future. So that's great for investors. But as we always say in each AMAs are for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice. Do your own research on the website, white paper, and check out the community and socials. We've got all them in our main chat. If you want to head over to there, I think Obito, you were saying you do regular VC chats as well to the community and keep them updated daily. Yeah.
And we actually do have something today, actually. So a bit later, I will be dropping a big announcement about our next utility, that will be dropping tomorrow. So yeah, so you guys will be able to tune in for that maybe. But essentially, that's basically my broadening my point of announcements. Very, I say, nearby. So we do have a lot of announcements quite frequently to keep the community engaged. So that's just one of many to come and that have come.
Obito, yeah, it's been great speaking to you today. Take care, and I'll finish the record and send a copy over. You can share with your community, and I'll send that into our main chat here for people to listen to back later. Yeah, and it's been a great pleasure speaking to you. Wish you all the best in the future with MuuInu.
Thanks, man. You too. Thanks for having us on here.